Two fire stations and one police station were supposed to be shut down over the weekend. However, it's not clear if two of the stations were really shut down or not. Here's more.
The administration has warned the legislature that if they don't quickly pass a piece of legislation that raises taxes to make up for the $67 million shortfall caused by the Trump tax cuts, certain critical services of GUAM will suffer. On Friday, the governor's office announced that the Astumbo and PD fire stations would close at 8 a.m. on Sunday if senators did not pass any one of a number of bills introduced by the governor to raise taxes. Then on Saturday, the governor's office announced that the Hagatna police precinct would be shut down on Sunday as well. The administration says the closures are necessary to cut costs. However, on Sunday, the Hagatna precinct was not entirely closed down. We found that the Hagatna precinct still had its lights on, and there were personnel visibly inside. GPD PAO Sergeant Paul Tapau explains that it is still technically open as arrestees will still be processed in the Hagatna precinct. Sergeant Tapau also tells PNC that there will still be a desk watch day and night to field calls and entertain walk-ins at the Hagatna precinct. Then there is the Astumbo fire station. GFD Acting Chief Joey Nicholas told PNC on Friday that both the PD and Astumbo fire stations would be completely shut down.
So zero personnel at Astumbo fire station, lights off?
Correct, to include the PD fire station.
On Sunday morning, as promised, the Astumbo fire station did appear empty and closed. However, on Sunday night, there were vehicles parked in the fire station and lights were on. Lawmakers have questioned the need for the closure of these stations, and during session over the weekend, they asked numerous questions surrounding this decision. This resulted in dueling press releases from both the Democratic Party of Guam and the Republican Party of Guam. The Democratic Party of Guam said DOA Deputy Director Vince Arreola, quote, admitted that the closure of police and fire stations was the governor's call. The Democrat Party further asserted that Mr. Arreola, quote, admitted that DOA had cash in the bank and that the governor had near absolute authority to manage that cash, end quote. The Republican Party of Guam then issued a release in rebuttal to the Democratic Party's release, saying instead that Arreola's statements were taken out of context. The Republican Party says the Democratic Party, quote, issued an inaccurate news release as an, quote, attempt to spin the Department of Administration Deputy Director's statements. The Republican Party calls it an irresponsible attempt to downplay the government's fiscal crisis. Republican Party Chairman Victor Cruz is quoted as saying, we believe the current Democratic Party of Guam leadership is intentionally putting the government of Guam on a crash course to negate all the progress made by this community in the past 13 years to set the stage for the upcoming gubernatorial election. This is politics at its worst and will cause a lot of pain to working families on Guam and take our economy off the rails.